Hello everyone, welcome to our channel Biodiversity and Conservation by Ambika Prasad Research Foundation. And today we will be discussing about one another family of flowering plants with herbs of Odisha. We will discuss about the herbs, their medicinal uses, their habitat, their ecology, and let's start the discussion. So today we will be discussing about the family Asteraceae. I think everyone has some idea about the Asteraceae or the sunflower family. The family Asteraceae within the original name Compositae consists of about 32,000 known species of flowering plants in over 1,900 genera within the order Asteraceae. And the family that everyone knows in the plants that everyone knows from this family are like daisy plants, sunflower plants, etc. So now how to identify the members of the family Asteraceae? So the members from the family Asteraceae are mostly herbs or shrubs. Rarely they are trees, and they are distributed throughout the world, and many species are also cultivated. And the most common example is the sunflower, and Asteraceae is one of the largest plant families. They are used mainly for ornamental purposes like the plant daisy, dahlia, marigolds, sunflower, etc. The leaves of Asteraceae are simple or occasionally they are compound, and and they are arranged along the stem, maybe opposite, alternate, or less commonly whole. Not frequently they are opposite towards the base of the stem and alternate above. Now, the most common and the most common features of the family Asteraceae that everyone can easily identify. So that is the character of their flower. The flower are like head structure. So when you see a sunflower in full bloom, you can see that there are hundreds of little flowers going on a dish, and each producing just one seed. Each dish flower has 5 tiny petals fused together plus 5 stamens fused around the pistil with antenna-like stigmas. And when you look closely at the big petals, the ring outside the flower head, and you will see that each petal is also a flower, and they are called as ray flower. So the plants of Asteraceae family will have either this flower or ray flower or both. So in this diagram, you can easily understand the types of flower in the family Asteraceae. So they are easy to recognize from a distance that this is the flower from the family Asteraceae or this is the plant from the family Asteraceae. So now here you can observe what is the disc floret and what is the ray floret. In the picture A, you can see what is the disc floret. Disc floret is the underneath flora or the petals of the flower, and beneath that you can find the bracts and receptacle and peduncle, and the big petals that we can find in the family Asteraceae or in the plant sunflower. You can imagine the flower of sunflower, so you can easily recognize what is the disc floret or what is the ray floret. So the big petals are the ray floret, and in the disc floret we have appendages, anthers, tails, and filaments. So in the second picture also you can see what is the disc floret and ray florets. So I think this is easy to understand about the flowers of the family Asteraceae, because this is the main character to identify the members from the family Asteraceae. So now we have some idea about the identifying characters of family Asteraceae. Now we can identify some Asteraceae members, and next we will discuss about some medicinal Asteraceae from Odisha. Many members from the Asteraceae you can find roadsides in the wasteland, and mostly they are cultivated and used for ornamental purposes. So first we are discussing about the Acanthaceae hispidum, and they are also a weed species found in disturbed land, and in roadside you can also find this plant. The plant is very bitter and also aromatic. Medicinally, this plant is highly important, and the decoction of whole plant is used in treating jaundice, malaria, stomachache, constipation, fever, viral infection, etc. Next is the Tridex procumbens. Everyone have seen this plant in roadsides or in home garden also. It is usually grow in the grasslands also. And uh, we also in our childhood days, whenever we have a cut or wounds, we used to plug the leaf and crush it and apply it to the injury areas to treat the cuts and wounds. So this plant is highly medicinal, and this is known as Bisalya Karani in Odia language. So medicinally it is highly important, and medicinal uses that the decoction of the whole plant is used to treat fever and malaria, and the leaf paste is used in the treatment of cuts and wounds. Also, you can find many members of the family Asteraceae. The leaves are highly antiseptic, used to treat cuts, wounds, in skin diseases, in injuries, etc. So, whenever you see any cuts or wounds or any injuries, you can plug the leaves, crush it, and apply it externally. So, you can definitely you will get relief, and this is act as a first aid. Next is Ecmela uligonosa, and this plant is widely used for food and medicine, and they are usually found in some watery areas, near water bodies, in fields, also in waste grounds. Leaves are also used as a leafy vegetable. Medicinally, the plant is used to treat mouth ulcer, toothache, sore throat, and stomachache. Next is Adenostema lavinia. I think from the picture that I am showing, you can understand the flower character of the family Asteraceae. So easy to identify. You can see here the ray florets and the disflorets. This is the plant looks very similar to Agrium conjugates and Eclipta prostata also. And this plant usually you can found near the water bodies or near streams in forest. This plant is also highly useful in medicinal purposes. The leaf paste is applied to treat injuries. As I have discussed earlier, the leaves of the Asteraceae members are highly antiseptic in nature. Whole plant is used as a remedy for inflammatory disorders such as hepatitis and pneumonia. Next is the Agrium conjugates. This plant is widely distributed uh, in every wasteland, in roadside, in forest areas. You can find this plant. Now this plant is um, everywhere you can find this plant, and this is considered as a common weed species. These are the common weed herb, or sometimes it grows up to shrub species, and this is a hairy annual plant. They have ovate to lens-like leaves that are oppositely arranged, and you can find the flower most of the year. The leaves have a very aromatic, unpleasant smell, But medicinally, this plant is highly important. Leaf paste is used to apply externally to treat cuts and wounds that I have discussed, that they are act as a first aid. And infusion of the whole plant is used in stomach ailments such as diarrhea and dysentery. Now, Biden's pilosa, you can see the flower. The flower is very closely looks similar to the Tridex procumbens, but the leaf character and the plant are very different. Morphologically, they are also very different. And this plant you can find in west areas, in grasslands, and in near the village areas also you can find this plant. And the medicinal uses and other characters are very similar to Tridex procumbens. So the whole plant decoction of this plant is used to treat fever and malaria, and the powder of whole plant is mixed with karanja oil. Karanja oil is the Pongamia pinnata oil with the whole plant powder of Bidens pilosa applied externally to cure fungal infection. So this Pongamia pinnata is also a very important medicinal plant. With this plant, we are using the Bidens pilosa to treat fungal infections. Now, Blumia lacera, you can see in the picture that that I have shown that the flowers are yellow in color, and another picture the flowers is white in color. So in the first stage of flower, the plant having yellow flowers, this is the disflorate. You can observe the disflorate in the flowers, and in the next stage after maturation the flower turns into white color, and this is the way of pollination, that in the wind the florets are uh, easily dispersed, so the pollination become very easy. And these plants are found in wastelands, in grasslands, and near village areas also you can find these plants. And medicinally, the plant with combined with black pepper, the leaves are used in the treatment of hemorrhage, and the decoction of fresh flower is given before meal to treat bronchitis. Now the Eclipta prostrata, the Vringraj plant. I think everyone have heard the name Vringraj. In many hair oils, in many advertisements, you have observed the name Vringraj. The hair oil is prepared from this plant by boiling the fresh leaf with their coconut, with either coconut or sesame oil. So this plant is highly important for the health of our hairs, and also for human body. The leaf juice is used in the treatment of diarrhea and dysentery. The plant is usually found in grasslands, in wastelands, in roadsides. Everywhere you can observe this plant, and easy to identify. They have white flowers and highly medicinal. Next is the Grangia madraspatana. You can observe the beautiful yellow flower that clearly identifying the family Asteraceae. They are commonly found in marshy areas and in grasslands, and they are sometimes associated with carnivorous plants also, like near we have observed this plant near Utricularia and Drosera species. So this is the associate plant species of carnivorous plants. Medicinally, this plant is also important. Infusion of the leaf is used in treating stomach problems, and the juice of the leaf is used in treating earache. Next, another beautiful member from the family Asteraceae, that is the Speranthus indicus. You can observe the beautiful pink or violet flower of Speranthus indicus. Usually you can find this plant in rice fields, in grasslands, in wastelands also, and they are grown in mass. The mass flowering of this plant look very beautiful. Medicinally, this plant is also important. Mainly it is used for glandular swelling in the neck. So this is also a medicinal plant from the Asteraceae family, and from the flower you can easily identify the family of this plant. So today in this session we have discussed very common plants that are that we can find in and around our home garden or in our village areas, like Tridex procumbens. Tridex procumbens is also used as leafy vegetable by many tribal communities. Bidens pilosa looks very similar to the Tridex procumbens, but morphologically they have very much very um, uh, differentiation that you can find in the leaf structures. Then we have discussed about the agritum conjugates that are useful in treating cuts and wounds. Also, we have discussed about the Eclipta prostata or the bhringraj that is highly medicinal for our health of our hairs. So thank you very much for this session, and in next session we will discuss another family, their identifying characters, their medicinal values, etc. Thank you so much.